Good evening, everyone. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today, we will discuss about recruitment of LNT. In my previous video, I discussed about recruitment of Texas Instrument, ABB, Intel, and Collins Aerospace. So, in this video, I will discuss about LNT, LNT recruitment, completely about its eligibility criteria, its written test, and interview experience. Okay. So, this interview experience I am sharing with you. This is not only my experience. I have like almost in my batch 6 to 7 people was selected in the interview point of view. So I have just collected all their questions and I am making this video. Okay. So today we will discuss everything about the LNT, its recruitment process and all. Okay. So, so first of all, we will discuss about the eligibility criteria to sit in the place, to sit in the recruitment of this. Like these are the branches eligible for the recruitment: the civil, triple E, EC, mechanical, and chemical. Okay, all the specializations of MTech was eligible for this, I think, for electrical. Okay, so this is the average 65%. The minimum percentage is 65% for both for BTech and MTech. That is, in BTech you should have 65% plus, and in MTech also you should have 65% plus. Okay, so this company I think came in after third semester. So if you are in MTech, so up to third semester you should have above 65%. Okay, and then there should not be any live back. So that's their condition. And the back, like you should not have a back history. You should not have any back history, means you should not fail in any of the subjects in your career. So like that they have mentioned. And this average for 10th and 12th should be more than 70%, means percentage in 10th and 12th both must be greater than 70%. And they have recruited for this year I am talking about this, for 2022 pass out people. This was the eligibility criteria. Okay, maybe next year they will come, so this will be maybe different. Okay, so mainly this condition is for you should not have too much gap between your studies. So if you have too much gap, then you will be not eligible for this company. So this was the a very strict eligibility criteria for this company. Okay, and you should not have any live back, like these things are there, and all subjects must be clear in first attempt only. Okay, so this is the criteria. This criteria is quite different, quite new for this company only, so that they are considering the gaps between study. Okay, so first of all, there is a resume shortlisting process. A Google form will be given to all the people, all the students, and then they fill it. They have to upload resume in that, and the first process is resume shortlisting. Okay, so how to make resume in perfect way, that I have made some video. You can watch that, it will be very helpful for you. Okay, so for in this written test, after resume shortlisting, I think only few people was not selected, otherwise most of the people got selected for writing this exam. Okay, it is 200 questions you have to do in 2.5 hours. Okay, I am not sure. I think it's about 150 questions or 200 questions. I'm not sure, but questions was more than 120. Okay, so almost 200 questions. Yeah, that maybe 150 questions maybe like there. So that questions were there, and you have to do it in 2.5 hours. Okay, so 100 questions technical and 100 questions non-technical over there. So if they may change the pattern, like they may give in some people I think got 150 questions in 2.5 hours, maybe like that. Then it will be 75 questions technical and 75 question non-technical. Okay, so now I will talk about this is like there are different patterns, or maybe they have different sets of paper, that I don't know. But there are people who got questions from technical, that is they are completely from their subjects, core subjects, BTech subjects. Okay, like this power system, power electronics, electric machines. So the level of questions was almost ESE level. It was not gate level question. It was basically ESE level questions. Okay, so that the too much preparation is not required for this company. Only ESE previous year if you study, that will be sufficient for you. And then the handed non-technical questions were there, and there was English was there. English was bit tough in this. Okay, so English was there, and the reasoning topic that I have discussed. So yeah, so one thing I was saying is that there are some people, maybe either it's a different sets of paper or what, who got questions from class 12th physics and math. Okay, for they were giving test and they got questions from not from their specialization or branch. They got questions from physics, class 12 physics and maths. So maybe that questions was for a BTech people. So that may be the condition. Okay, so mostly you will be asked question will be from your branch only. Okay, okay, if you are from civil, then you will got civil questions and all. So that will be there. Okay, so then these are the subjects that you have to prepare for the written test. I have already said that the question level was not like, up to a gate level. It was ESE only, engineering services MCQ. If you go through, that will be sufficient for you. And the basic level question only. The electric machines questions was more questions were there from electric machines. Okay, so these things are there. So these are the subjects you should prepare. So, so and there was handed non-technical question also. This non-technical question includes mostly these are the topics they do ask questions from aptitude and reasoning. So these are the questions they mostly ask. Okay, these are topics that you should prepare for your placements. Yeah, so these are mostly questions they have asked, and they have also asked English also. Okay, so English questions were also there, around 10 to 15 English questions were there. So that also they have asked. So you that also you have to prepare, and that English was a good level questions. It was not that much easy. It was not synonyms and antonyms. I think it was like a direct and indirect speech, like that questions were there. That was a bit typical type of questions. Okay. So very less people got the. Now I will discuss interview questions. So what happened? Maybe like 2.55 was too much time. So most people have not attempted that much questions. So very less people got selected for the interview. Okay, I thought if I could recall, around in my branch, around 70 people have given the test, and only 10 people was selected for this interview out of 70 in my branch. Electrical branch I am talking about. Okay, so you have to give your question your paper properly. Okay, so now I will discuss the interview questions for electrical engineers. Okay, so first of all, only one interview was there, and one interview it was around 30 to 40 minutes interview was there. Only one interview, nothing like HR and all. One interview. So he himself talking about HR question and all. Okay, so one interview, 30 to 40 minutes. Okay, that was scheduled for us. So first of all, when I gone for an interview, so he asked me one question like, you will be posted from Kanyakumari to Kashmir. Are you comfortable with it? So this was the first question for me from the interview panel. Only one people was there in the panel, and he asked me this question: that are you comfortable with the places, like you will be placed from Kanyakumari to Kashmir? Are you comfortable? So I said yes, I definitely I will be comfortable with it. Okay, so he just tell me that the interview he tell me to introduce myself, and then my basic family background, and then my education background and all. So he did ask about my schoolings, like from where you have done your schoolings. After that, he asked me some questions like what are this interview was not that much typical. I will tell you, it's not too much questions were there. So first question he asked me like what are transmission losses and how to reduce it. So this was the first question. Okay, so now the second question is what is proximity effect and what is skin effect, and what is these two questions he asked. So explain me these two effects. So you have to I have explained this like this working and all, like how it's work, how this resistance become more than like RAC become more than the RDC. This is what the concept of skin effect, I think. So this question he has asked basic what is skin effect and proximity effect, and then what do you understand by power factor? Okay, what is actually the meaning of power factor? So this was the third question. So after that, Acha, this interview, this video I am making by taking all the questions from my friends. Okay, so there are different types of questions they have touched. So I am covering all those things. Okay, so after this, he asked like yeah, this question he asked from two or three people, I think, like draw this power flow diagram from generation to distribution. That is, we have power system. In our power system, in the very first chapter we study na, for like this much we are generating and this much we are transmitting and this much we are distributing. So he told me to draw complete picture from generation to distribution, like how we are generating, how we are transmitting, and how we are distributing. So this was the question. Then I have drawn this complete figure. Okay, so so he asked me like how much kV, how much kilovolt we are generating at our generating stations. No? And then how much for transfer, for during transmission, what is what is the maximum kilovolt that can be transferred. Okay, therefore during transmission, what is the maximum kilovolt that can be transferred. Okay, after that he asked me about then I draw some figures which contains like transformers. Then he asked me like what is the basic principle of transformers. And then in my figure I have also shown about the protection instrument, protection things like a circuit breaker, relay and all. So he do ask me about all this, like how this circuit breaker and a relay works. And okay, and then so these are the things he asked me. Okay, then about everything he was asking, like how we step up, about the step up transformer and step down transformer, at which positions we use step up and at which position we use step down. Okay, then he asked me, so these questions were there, complete about this equipment and all, how we are transferring the things. Okay, so these things are there. Yeah, that one thing I want to clear, that from 5 to 6 people from our batch, they haven't asked any questions. Like that interviewer haven't asked any questions from BTech and MTech project. No questions was from this to about your project. Okay, so no questions from this. Okay, after that he asked like what are auto transformer and what is the application of auto transformer in our system, like in our substations and all. What is the application of this? Why we use auto transformer? Okay, so this question he asked. After that, yeah, yeah. Then he came to the part HVDC and HVAC part. So this was, I think, favorite question from him. Like he asked a lot about HVDC. Okay, then he asked me like what is this HVDC and HVAC transmission. Okay, so difference between HVDC and HVAC. Okay, after that, during transmission, what we mostly prefer, DC, HVDC or HVAC, and why? And and then he asked me like how many HVDCs are there in India? Like how many HVDC lines are there in India? There's basically 5 HVDC lines are there, and it is present between which two places. So only 5 HVDC lines are there. So he was asking me about the places. Between which places does it installed? Okay, so then he asked me like is it possible that we start using HVDC completely in place of HVAC? Is it possible? Then he asked me about the question regarding that from how much distance, when how we decide that we have to use HVDC line or HVAC line, how we will decide. So these things he asked. After that after that he asked me like what are the types of HVDC. No, there are different types of HVDC like monopolar, bipolar and homopolar. So these are the three basic types. So he asked me about the working, what is like he tell me that what are the different types, you explain me the working of any one HVDC links, like how they work. So these things he have asked. Okay, so these are the questions which they ask. So what I can say is mostly you have to prepare completely about power system parts. One more question I think they ask. Yeah, whenever we are using HVDC lines, so we are using converters to convert that DC to AC, or maybe at some places we are using inverters. So these things are there. So what is the like how this converter works? Then which type of switches we use in converter at our like a like high voltage transmission is there. So which type of switches we use? Do we use MOSFET, thyristor, IGBT, or any other switches? So and like that he asked me. He asked. Okay. So yeah. So these are the questions which they ask. So I will just suggest you one thing, that prepare well about the power system part. Power system part completely. So maybe they may be asking about this uh, fault analysis, all they can ask. Okay, and then about the working of different circuit breakers and all that also they can ask. Everything which are present in power flow, that they can ask, anything they can ask. Okay, after that they have asked about this HVDC lines, complete information about HVDC lines, that how it works, and then about these things. Okay, so these are the questions which they have asked. And this question they have asked, like is it possible to replace HVAC lines completely by HVDC lines? If it is not possible, if it is possible, then why? Like that he asked. Okay. So these things, and then this practical, they have asked me about this. What do you understand by power factor? Power factor, you should know what it actually, what is the significance, means what it actually mean. So that that he told me to explain. So what happened, like why government is focusing more to improve the power factor. So what is this power factor improvement? So these questions they may ask in the future. They have not asked in this. They may ask like what is this power factor improvement and how we will do it. Okay. So these things, so mostly they have asked completely about core electrical engineering. Okay, completely about your power system and machine related part. Okay, so you have to prepare all those things, as well as I think facts and all that you people study in your maybe BTech or MTech. So that chapter you have to prepare very well for this LNT interview. They will ask. I think one or two people were telling that they have asked me about this statcom and all. Okay, so mostly about the transmission and distribution part, and this transmission lines, HVDC and HVAC lines. Okay, complete figure, complete knowledge you need to have for this. Okay, so these are the questions. So I hope it will help you in your interview. Okay, if for any help you can comment on this video. Okay, so in my next video I will be uploading about Tata Power and Tata Motors and Mahindra and all. So please subscribe to my YouTube channel. So thank you. So thank you. And this is the source of image I have used for LNT logo. This is source is Google, and link for this image is this. Okay, so these things are there. So I hope it's going to help for you. This interview experience, whatever I am sharing, will be helpful for you. Okay, so thank you, and please subscribe to my channel. Thank you.